Memorial Day. How are you all doing? So, y'all, I'm on here just really quickly. Please excuse my appearance. I did not want to take my hair down because it's just too much work to try to put my hair back up. And I didn't want to take it down to do this recording because it's just too much. Please excuse my background, y'all. I am relaxed. I am in my personal space, and this is uh, a very informal video. It's an impromptu video, you know. Yeah. So, it's an impromptu video. I just kind of randomly say, let me go ahead and just talk about some things that have been on my mind. And like I said, I'm really, really relaxed. So please excuse them. Like I said, I'm in my personal space. So y'all please forgive me. I am not in the car though. I'm not in the car, so you got to give me credit. Because, usually I am in the car. But this is not a in the car video. Because guess what? I have been on lockdown for what? Last time I've been out, I think was what? Maybe about almost a month ago. And the reason for that, y'all, is because I have not been feeling well at all. This has been a really, really tough season in my pregnancy, and I don't know. I just need a vent, to be honest. I just need to talk. I just need to figure this all out, and just open up and talk. And maybe you all have some things you want to share, or you have some questions, or maybe you all are, maybe you all are going through, you know, the same thing. You have these moments where you're really having a rough time, and maybe it's not just with your pregnancy, maybe it's in your personal life, with this pandemic going on and things changing in our world so rapidly. It's a lot to deal with. Our lives are changing so much for different reasons, and I'm sure it's taking a toll on a lot of people. So I just wanted to say, if you guys have something you want to share, if you want to have someone to pray for you, if you need us, us to come together and pray for you on your behalf, maybe for yourself, maybe for your family or your children or whatever the case may be, this is why we are here. We are a community of people that come together to bring encouragement, to bring enlightenment, to bring wisdom and understanding, not just for our CP moms, but for anyone who comes across this channel that just may need a safe place to land, may just need someone to talk to, may just have another issue outside of CP, that or some type of medical condition that you're going through and you don't have all the answers, and you've been fighting this thing for so long and can't seem to get the help that you need. You can share your story too. I'm not limited to just cryptic pregnancy. I'm here as a conduit, for those who need restoration, for those who need hope, for those who are just looking like, just to meet new people and, to talk and to have someone pray for them. And, guys, this is a positive place where we can come together and talk about a lot of things. And this, of course, we talk, more about, more about cryptic pregnancy, but we're not limited to that. So just to get back on point, like I said, it's just been a rough season for me with this pregnancy. I would say the last couple of months have just really, really been rough. Obviously the babies are growing and getting bigger, and the weight gain is just, whew, I don't even have to tell y'all, I'm sure. But I don't know if most women know this, but there's a high percentage rate of when you have a cryptic pregnancy where you have multiples. A lot of women with CP have more than one baby. It's a high percentage rate of multiples when you have this kind of pregnancy. So you're not only carrying for an indefinite amount of time, but you're carrying more. A lot of women are carrying more than one, which is my case. I'm having multiples. So um, I don't know what it is. But this is what I guess I'm struggling with. This when I guess the babies are different sizes. I've always had a pain on my right side for as long as I can remember. Even before I knew I was pregnant, I always had this pain on my right side. I could never sleep on my right side. I always had to pretty much sleep on my left side. And then there would be periods of time where I didn't have the pain on my right side and I could sleep on my right side. But the pain would just come and go, come and go. And I actually went to the emergency room several times for this constant pain on my right side. I can't call whether or not it was a baby or if it was one of the babies or whatever the case may be, but I know that now that, I know for sure what's happening, I still have this, I know it's the baby on the right side now, but I don't know if this is a bigger baby than the baby on the left, and then, or what the case may be. But when the baby I don't know if anybody has experienced the babies or one of your babies may be going or hiding under your rib cage and in your back. Gosh, that is the worst place they can go because you can't sleep on your right side because when I lay on my right side and I know the baby is positioned behind my ribs on that side, I don't want to lay on the baby because I can tell that I'm laying in a position where the baby is uncomfortable because the baby will start to kick. And it just doesn't feel comfortable to me either. I can feel like a big lump when I try to rest on my right side. So if the baby is on the right side, I just have to try to rest on my left side. Now I've had recently the baby on the left kind of be balled in the knot, the baby on the right be under my rib cage, baby's going on in my back, and I literally was like a rotisserie chicken all night, just rotating from one side to another. So eventually I had to just sleep upright, and I really can't even lay. You know how you sit up like you're in a recliner chair with maybe pillows propped behind your head. I kind of have to do that, but even when I do that, I can't lean my back on the pillow because any pressure on my back makes the babies uncomfortable because they start to kick. So I literally have to sleep upright. And excuse me, I've been also going through this thing where if the babies are in my back, it's like it cuts off my air supply, and I have this thing where I'm having a hard time breathing, and I'm gasping for air because the babies are like, I don't know if they're on my lungs or what the case may be, but it is the worst. So I got that going on, and this baby on the right kind of like in this really uncomfortable position, and I can't sleep. My husband is trying to rest, and I'm tossing and turning, and he understands, but I feel bad because it breaks his sleep, and so I'm up like for 48 hours, sometimes longer, where I don't really sleep. You know how you doze off, but then you have to get up to use the bathroom, every few hours. I know I do. So then you have to try to find that comfortable position all over again so that you can try to get some sleep. So now I'm up all night and I sleep. I'll finally get to go to sleep maybe around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning because I'm literally up all night because I just can't get comfortable. Excuse me. And I do have times where it's not like that, but I go through these episodes where that happens to me, and it just takes a toll on you mentally because it's like I can't even describe it. It's just the words. Not only is it does it hurt because you just feel like you got this constant knot just in your side, and You can't sleep because you can't lay a certain way, so you can't get comfortable. It's just, yeah, I just been through the ringer, and now I'm noticing when I eat, I can eat, but I have to eat smaller portions, but more frequently. And then sometimes sometimes I only want to eat once a day, or I'm so sleepy and tired that I don't feel like getting up to prepare anything to eat because I've been up all night. But the babies, when they're hungry, there's no way I can just lay there and not eat because I feel sick. They feel like they're stressed, and I can just tell when they're hungry. So I have to eat a banana or a bowl of fruit or whatever I choose to eat. I try to get healthy choices to snack on, just to get me, just so that they can at least calm down, so that I can sleep for a couple of hours. But the moment I get up, I have to go get a actual meal of hot food to eat because the little snacks only last for a short period of time. Ouch. Only for a short period of time. And I'm sorry, y'all. My throat is. I feel like I have fluid on my lungs. So I'm going through that too. I do have that issue. So that's why I'm constantly clearing my throat. And then I have these moments. I don't know if you all experience it, but where I get the shortness of breath, and that happens in spells too. And it's like I can't. How do I explain it? It's like I don't get enough oxygen. I don't get enough air to match the amount of breaths that I need to take to feel like I'm not missing a breath when I'm breathing. So I have to go like, and when I do that, I feel like my breaths have caught up with my heart rate. It's really hard to explain, but it's not like that, every night. But the it happens often. Um, so I go through that, and of course, these babies are really, really heavy. So getting up to walk, you feel like you're weighed down with a ton of bricks when you stand to walk or use the bathroom. And my back hurts so bad when I stand up. Sorry, y'all. I just go through this thing where it's hard to catch my breath. Sorry. Give me a moment. I need 1 second. 1 second. Okay, y'all. I'm so sorry. I just gotta get it together. I'm sorry. I didn't want to do all that while I was talking to you guys, so I just had to pause it just for a second. But so yeah, I just have this problem with breathing, and um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, so yeah. So like I said, the babies are growing and getting bigger, and it's like one baby is at the top of my stomach. Like I said, I'm having multiple, so it's like they're just everywhere, and it's hard to sometimes sit on my bed or sit in the chair because my stomach is protruding out so much. It's long and it's wide, and I'm top heavy. So when you're top heavy, your breasts overlay your stomach, and so you feel like you got this weight on your stomach. And I don't, if I don't have to wear a bra or whatever like that unless I'm going out, I don't. No woman wants to sit around with a bra on all day. At least this woman doesn't. Now to each his own, but for me, I don't, because it's very uncomfortable. So it's just a lot, and I'm not on here to complain. I'm just venting. I'm just talking it out because you know I'm still okay. I'm not like, oh, woe is me. I can't take it anymore, and I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to throw in the towel. No, that will not be me. I mean, it gets rough. I have hard days, But I'm open and I'm honest, and I share every side of my emotions when it comes to this type of pregnancy. And y'all already know what we go through when we have people coming for us and saying all of these negative things, and they have no idea. People speak you know passionately about what they believe because it doesn't scientifically make sense and it doesn't psychologically make sense. So we're automatically wrong and we're spreading all these lies and we're delusional and we're negatively influencing other women to believe in a pregnancy that doesn't exist and this, that, and the other. But I'm glad that I'm past worrying about what other people think or feel or say. I'm at a point now where I'm just trying to get through this. So, what I can continue to share my story and my journey when I do give birth. I pray that I'm in a position to have someone with me to be able to record everything from when I actually start to go in labor, when I actually have to go to the hospital, when I'm in the car riding to the hospital, getting checked in and all of that stuff. I want to be able to video and get all of that footage because I want to take you all from the beginning to the end because we don't have a lot of stories that we can share when it's time to actually get down to certain parts of the pregnancy, and it's a personal choice. A lot of people don't want people into their lives in that way, and I totally respect that, and I'm not upset or angry about that at all because it's a personal choice. And like I said, I choose to tell my story despite the ridicule and all of the naysayers and negative things and negative comments that people have to say. Like I said, that doesn't bother me. Their words, and you can do whatever you want to do with your words and think whatever you want to think with your words. But that doesn't change my story and my truth and my situation because someone wants to express their words and what they feel and what they think about this type of pregnancy. Um, yeah, so, and I've definitely learned, God is definitely giving me more wisdom behind what is actually happening with me in this pregnancy. And it's not just a physical experience, it's a spiritual experience too. And when you are not the type of person that understands how God works, what God does, and how God chooses certain things to happen, then you're always going to be a skeptic. You're always going to feel like you are you're right in how you feel and think, and the other person that's going through it is the crazy one. And there's of course, you know, I'm sure all of us as CP moms have heard people say to us, there's no way a person can be pregnant longer than 9 months, and there's no way this type of pregnancy can happen because of this, that, and the other. And people want to start to run down their credentials. I've been I think a stenographer. I don't know, the person that does ultrasounds and all of that. I've been doing this for 20 years and I've been in the medical field, but you know, that's great. And I commend you or them for it, whoever it is. But God has been doing this since the beginning of time. He created the heavens and the earth. He is Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. So he transcends medicine. He transcends ultrasounds. He transcends human logic. He transcends our thoughts, our ways. He transcends all of that. He is a perfect God. He is right about everything and wrong about nothing. And I understand who I serve. He is my Heavenly Father. And He has chosen me to have this type of pregnancy. And it does not line up with science. It does not line up with human logic. It does not line up with medicine. It does not line up with blood testing, urine testing, the things that typically happen in a normal pregnancy. It does not. So I'm not even I understand why people say the things that they say about how this is not possible and how we're delusional and it's a phantom pregnancy. And a lot of CP moms have had doctors to diagnose them with that. I forgot some word that basically diagnoses you with thinking that you're pregnant, believing you're pregnant when you're really not. It's all in your head, and that's because they don't have answers. Now, I'm not saying that those cases don't exist. I can only tell you about my journey and about my case and about my situation, and that's not my story. So I can't speak for every situation. I'm sure that there are situations like that, but that's not my situation. So yeah, so I won't allow anybody to quiet my mouth or not allow me to tell my story because of what they believe or what they think or what they feel. And people are so quick to say what you are not and that you're not this and you're not that, and just has the audacity, to speak into a situation that they know nothing about. And sometimes I deal with it, sometimes I don't. It just really depends on the day. Sometimes I'll make a comment. Sometimes I just delete it. It depends on where I'm at and my energy level. Sometimes I give energy to it. Sometimes I don't. But I will say this: I don't care what anybody says that comes on my YouTube channel or my Instagram or wherever I have my social media platforms. If you disagree with what you're saying and you don't believe that this is something that actually happens, then my suggestion to you, like I tell everybody else, get off my page. I didn't ask you to come here. You came here by your own choice. I didn't invite you here. You came here. Now, if you got a problem with it or you got, some type of issue or whatever the case may be, then leave. It's simple. Period, point blank, because you're not going to stop me from telling my truth and sharing my journey and helping other women with this kind of pregnancy, period. Freedom of speech. Live in America. So anyway, ladies, on to what else I was sharing with you guys. Yeah, so, getting, my stomach is growing, the babies are getting bigger, so, I feel like I don't have enough room. Like, I don't have enough room this way. Like, what is it? Lengthwise, not widthwise, but lengthwise. Like, I don't have enough room. Like, I feel like the babies are just up in my chest, way, way up at the top of my stomach. And so when I sit down, my stomach is literally on my lap. And it's hard to see how big my stomach actually is because, like I said, I'm top heavy. My boobs are really big. And so, you really can't see the totality of the size of my stomach. Not that, well, I'm making that point because even my husband had made a comment one night. He was like, "I didn't know your stomach was that big." I was like, "Yeah," because he only, I guess, saw it from one angle, and then, like I said, because I've gotten bigger, he didn't realize that it had gotten as big as it did. And I was like, "Yeah," because he was like, "Why?" He always asked me, "Why are you breathing like that?" And I'm like, "Babe, because they're getting bigger," and he's like, "Oh," and so yeah, so that's, it's just been a lot. And then I have so many other personal decisions I have to make in terms of how I'm going to continue with this pregnancy because I can no longer work. So I have a lot of, things I need to do. I need to, I've had to make a lot of changes in my life because, this pregnancy and its longevity and the physical totality that is taken on me. I had to make a lot of adjustments, and it's been difficult because I'm not used to not being able to do the things that I have been doing all of my life. And I am not a person to sit around and just be idle. And I don't feel like I'm being idle. I know I have a reason for my situation, but it's still hard for me mentally because you know, I'm OCD, and to have to just let certain things go and to not be able to pick up everything that I see when it's out of order, and when I say I'm OCD, I'm saying that lightly. I mean, I am very organized, and I do like things in order and in place, and I'm not minimizing, and I don't want to misuse that word because there are a lot of people that do deal with that. So please don't take that the wrong way. Maybe I should use another word, but I'm a very organized and neat person, you know, from my house to my car to myself to, you know, everything around me. And I function better when I'm organized. And sometimes I just can be a little over the top with it. And I always end up overexerting myself. And I just started to learn maybe years ago to kind of slow down a little bit and have to tell myself everything can be, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G all the time or a certain way all the time. Things will get dirty. Things will get out of place. So you're not going to be able to fix everything and organize everything. It's too stressful trying to, you know, cross your T's and dot your I's all the time. But I think that might have been a form of stress. And when I relieve stress, I clean. So I don't know. But now I don't have a choice. Now, when something, I mean, no, I'm not gonna sit there and walk over a piece of paper that I see on the floor. But what I'm saying is, I might not be able to get it right then and there, especially if I was just eating something. I can't bend over or move a lot after I eat because I don't personally believe that my babies are all inside of my uterus, inside of my womb. I believe that some of my babies are outside of my womb, based on what my ultrasound looks like and the things that I've saw and also how I feel. That's why I said these babies are miracles and God is keeping these babies alive. I don't even know how they survive it. I don't know how, and that's just I mean I'm saying that in a rhetorical way. I know it's all God, but I do not understand. This is the most complicated pregnancy that I've ever heard of in my life. There's so many different symptoms. There's so many different phases, and no, you know, people have an idea, and we have studied things and researched things, and we do have some answers. You know, don't get me wrong. There are many women who have studied this type of pregnancy and helped to give us information about what's happening. But I will have to tell you this: there is no concrete answer. That's why I don't. The symptoms that we have and the things we go through are incredible. We don't have enough HCG hormone to even get a positive test. And then sometimes the pregnancies do turn normal and the body does build up this hormone and you end up getting a positive test and your pregnancy turns what we call normal. But a lot of us don't, and even though we have this type of pregnancy, you still have to, if you don't want more kids, you still have to use protection because, y'all, it's a lot. I'm not going to get into it because I think I'm going to talk about all that as the Lord leads, but it's a very complicated pregnancy. And so when people come on here and say what's not possible, what can't happen, it just really makes me see how small-minded people are and honestly how ignorant people are, because and it really also shows me where their mentality is, because when you say what can't happen, you're saying what God can't do. You have to take every limitation off of God. Because if God sets his love on something or puts his hand on something or decides that he wants to create something inside of a person or he wants something to happen in a person's body or he allows certain thing to happen, who am I or anyone else to say what you're experiencing is a lie and it's not true because scientifically it's not proven? What gives anyone the right to make that call or that assessment over another person's life? And that's why I'm like, listen, that might be your belief, but that's fine. But keep that to yourself. because that's not my story. That's not my experience. And so people want to come back and say, oh, I saw your ultrasound and that's not a baby, that's a kidney. That's not a baby, that's a fibroid. That's not a baby, that's a this, that's a that. And not even understand the spiritual concept behind how people see things. I understand that people want to see things totally different than what I see or what I know to be true. And again, there's another subject for another time. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I even understand how somebody can literally see something totally different than what you see. And you know within yourself that what you're seeing is accurate. And they believe that what they're seeing is accurate. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they see because it's not about them, it's about me. And so I had to really get an understanding. I'm like, God, but it's. And then so I'm not going to get into that, but I understand humanity when it comes to those who are not, those who are spiritually blind, So, yeah. So, I just wanted to kind of let you all know what has been going on with me, and I'm just really going through a tough time right now, guys. But it's okay. I'm sure a lot of people are, and I'm sure matter of fact, I know there are greater tragedies in the world. That's not to minimize my situation, but I pray that no matter what I go through, no matter what I deal with, I'm always in a position to pray for others. I'm blessed. I'm graced by God, His glory, and His presence, and His love. I don't know why He's good to me, because I don't deserve it. I'm a sinner, saved by grace. I mess up all the time. I got things in my life that I'm trying to overcome. I have my own personal battles within. I have that sin that so easily beset me. I'm fighting for my soul just like everybody else. There's nothing special about me that, or any more special about me than the next person, because we're all special to God. We're all, when we, when he's our Father. When we accept and acknowledge Him for who He is, and we believe in His Son Jesus Christ, that He died on the cross, you know, and we accept Him as our Lord and Savior. He is our Heavenly Father, and He loves us. So there's nothing special about me, that and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying He loves you too. It's not like, oh, I love her better than I love this person. Or because you made a mistake, I love you more. Or because you keep messing up and you keep asking me to forgive you, but you keep doing the same thing over and over again. I can't love you as much as I love her because she's doing it right and you're doing it wrong. He's not like man. All right, y'all, let's see what happens. I had to start over because something came up on my phone about the amount of time that I had left on that video. But let me just get this out before I forget. But God is not like man. He doesn't think like us. He doesn't entreat us like we treat one another, like another human being treats another human being. His thoughts and his ways surpasses our thoughts, our ways. He doesn't think like we do. That's why it's so easy for a person to say that, our pregnancy is not real, that our pregnancy is not real and we're delusional and, what we're saying is not true. And that's why it's so easy for people to say that, because of where they are. And you have to understand that, where people are. And I really feel bad for the women, CP moms, that put themselves in a position to get into debates with people about what they know their truth is. And I know we want to defend ourselves and we don't want people to think a certain way, but we can't concern ourselves with that. You can't spend your time trying to, get people to believe you or, to prove yourself. Now, I know it's hard when you have a spouse, you have loved ones and family members and friends. You want them to be on your side. You want them to support you. And you want them to believe that what you're saying is actually true. But let me just say this to you. There are going to be people that no matter what you say, no matter if you cry, no matter if you show them your baby on the sonogram, they are just not going to be able to wrap their head around this kind of situation. And I want to tell you that because a lot of women spend their time trying to get people to believe it. And I understand it because we're telling the truth. And who wouldn't want their family to support them? And in with this type of situation, we need all the support we can get. Who wants to fight this alone? Who wants to deal with this alone by themselves? All of us are still trying to get answers. And so the last thing we need is for somebody to think that we're being dishonest. But you got to remember, all of the details that come with this pregnancy is unbelievable. It is a miracle that we are carrying these babies with this type of situation. So you got to think about their side of it too. You know, if I wasn't pregnant and somebody came to me and told me they're pregnant and they've been pregnant for 4 years, it would be, I'm not going to say I would embrace it right away. And I am a woman of God. I am, I do believe that miracles happen and things can happen, but I'm not going to say that I would be like, oh, okay, I believe, I would raise my eyebrows too. But I'm not, what I can say, you know, is that I would pray for the person. Even if I didn't understand it, I would still pray for them, but, not everybody is the same. There are people out here, that just don't have compassion. They don't care about our feelings and our emotions and, our truth. They don't care. When a person has in their mind that they believe that something is true or not true, it's going to be very difficult to convince them otherwise. So I don't try to convince people. That's not my job, nor is that my responsibility, nor do I have the energy to do that. And you don't deserve that kind of time from me, because you don't mean any. And don't, when I say this, I'm just talking to a complete stranger who comes on my YouTube channel with all this noise. You mean nothing to me. And when I say that, I don't mean that like I don't care about you as far as the love of Christ is concerned, but you don't mean anything to me in regards to my truth. That's what I'm saying. So we have to, let's say if you are a woman that has a cryptic pregnancy and your husband doesn't believe you, or your mom, or your dad, or your child, and it hurts you, breaks your heart. This is when your relationship with God comes in, and you have to pray and ask God to give you wisdom, because we can get bitter too. We can become angry too, because we're like, I'm your wife, I'm your sister, I'm your cousin, I'm your this, I'm your that. Why would I lie to you? Why aren't you supporting me? Why would you think that I would lie about being pregnant? Why do you think that I would come to you and tell you this if it wasn't true? And so, we can get hurt because people don't believe what we say. I've gone through many situations where people have talked about me. Many people have accused me of lying and making things up, and from my family to my co-workers to so-called associates and friends. I've had it all done happen to me. I had it all happen to me. And I thank God that I've handled it as well as I have so far. I'll be honest with you. I thank God for that, because when you know what your truth is, you have to remember that your truth and your relationship with God and what God has placed inside of you means more than what somebody thinks about you. And you have to find that strength within. You have to find your place of serenity. You cannot allow anybody to disturb your peace. You can't force someone to believe you. You just can't. It's too much stress to do that. So what you do is you put it in God's hands, because He knows. And you take care of yourself. You listen to your body. You take care of your baby or babies. And you do what you have to do to care for yourself and your situation. And it's going to get tougher, because doctors don't medically support us either. Because 1, our tests still come back negative. 2, we still get a period. And 3, because of the way that the babies are inside of us, even if they do see the babies, if the babies are not, now the baby showed up that way and we got a positive test, that's one thing. But when the babies show up way, like outside of your uterus or in a bizarre place, or even they could probably see the baby right smack dab in front of them. Because 1 plus 1 does not equal 2, they will not consider our pregnancy to be viable. And you can even get the baby's heartbeat. And they'll say, oh, it's a tumor. That's not the baby's heartbeat. That's your heartbeat. So, it's like, but I still believe that even in all of the negativity that we get and the results that we get, I believe that's God's protection. I believe that is God's form of protection for us and our babies, because He is going to protect us, and He's going to keep us. I have to speak by faith. God is sovereign. He does what He wants to, but I have to believe that by faith. So if you have a spouse, a significant other, sister, brother, friend, relative that's saying, I just can't get with that. It's been 2 years and you've been saying you're pregnant. Where's the baby? And you're just pouring your heart out and you're crying and you're weeping, trying to make your point, trying to get them to understand. And they're just like, I believe you when I see the baby. And then when you do have the baby, let's say hypothetically your situation changes and you have the baby, then they're gonna say, oh, the reason why you had the baby is because you got pregnant again. That wasn't the baby from 2 years ago that you told me about. And you can tell them, I ain't been with nobody in 3 years. I've been celibate for 3 years. So how is it a new pregnancy when I haven't slept with a guy? Oh, you lying. Yes, you did. That's the only way that can be possible. So it's like no matter what you say, they're not going to believe you. So stop trying to prove yourself to get people to believe something that you know what your truth is. Because you're going to stress yourself out. And you're going to go into a depression. And you're always going to be upset. You're going to be sad. Because people are just who they are. I'm telling you. People are just who they are. And then the ones that you least expect are the ones that hurt you the most. And I'm not saying that in the negative way. I'm just speaking facts. So, my encouragement to all of us, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm hot. My encouragement to all of us is to set your affections on things above and not on things on the earth. Set your affections on things above where Christ sits and not on things on the earth. Ask God to give you wisdom. Ask God to give you patience. Ask God to help you understand what it is He wants from your life with this pregnancy. Yes, these are miracles. These pregnancies are miracles. But we have more of a responsibility than just pushing these babies out. There is something that God wants from our lives with this pregnancy. See, we're servants of God. We belong to Him. If I can encourage everyone, please. I know that I have posted a lot of videos. I know that I have. But I have to say that the most profound video that I posted was recently, a couple of weeks ago. And it says the answers to why we are still cryptically pregnant. And Jackie Hill Perry is doing a teaching coming from 1 Samuel. And she's talking about Hannah. And Hannah's situation with being barren. And how God opened up her womb. And what God did for her. And so that's what I'm trying to get us to understand. Our pregnancy is not just physical, it's spiritual. And so when people tell you they don't believe you, they don't see this, they see that. What you're circling is a kidney we see 2 eyes, a mouth, and a nose, but somebody else's eyes can actually see something totally different. I'm telling you. That can happen. God, I'm telling you, we can't underestimate who we serve. And I would strongly suggest that if you don't know God, if you have not made God your Lord and personal Savior, if you don't have a close relationship with God, I would suggest that you do that. If you don't know how, ask God. Say, Lord, I want to be close to you. I want you to come into my heart. I believe that you exist. I know you're there. I know you have a son named Jesus. Tell me a little bit about you, who you are. Tell me what you want from me. Talk to God like you talk to anybody else, and I guarantee you, He'll meet you where you are. Promise you. If you're stressed out about this pregnancy because of the longevity of it, and because we don't know the gender, we don't know how much longer we're going to carry these babies, look at the video that says the answers to why I am still cryptically pregnant. And you have to be patient. You can't skip through the video to try to get to the end of it to get to a certain place or answer or whatever. You have to listen to it in its entirety and allow God to minister to you. And then you will understand why you've been pregnant this long. And you will also understand when you prayed about things, the teacher's going to talk about whether or not God heard you. The teacher's going to talk about, it's going to show us where we are. It's going to show us how we're supposed to view this pregnancy. It's going to show us how to understand it. I'm telling you, if you want answers, it's there. But you got to be open to it. You got to really put yourself in a position where you're going to accept what God says. And so I would just encourage you to listen to it. If you have a Bible, go to your Bible and read it in your own time. I invited a couple of people to listen to it. And, to each his own. Again, if they chose to do it, then fine. If not, I did what I was supposed to do. But I'm not going to try to play God. I'm not going to try to play an educator because God is bigger than all of us. And, I appreciate information. I appreciate research because that's necessary. We need to do those things. But in spite of all of that, at the end of the day, God has to be the first and foremost important thing in the equation. He has to be. So I'm going to have to probably put up 2 separate videos because I know this video, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. We'll see. But I hope that this brought you all encouragement. I hope that this has given you answers. I thank you all for listening to me. I thank you all for your prayers and just your kindness and all of the nice, sweet things that you all have to say when you see my videos. And I just want to say that I love each and every one of you with the love of the Lord. And thank you for all of the beautiful, kind words. I don't know. I just say thank you. I don't see what people see, but I just say thank you. And I give an example. This one lady made a comment, and she's like, I love your voice. She's like, she's like, I just love your voice. And I think I sound like a man. My voice is very hard, in my opinion. But I was just like, wow, well, thank you. I appreciate that. But you'll be amazed at what people get out of just connecting with you. And I just want to give her a shout out. I'm so sorry I don't remember your name, but I just want to give you a shout out if you're watching this video. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for liking my voice. I like to sing. I'm not the best singer in the world, but I don't know. But I hope I get to meet you one day. Hopefully I get to meet a lot of you all. I've met so many beautiful women. I've made so many, wonderful connections because YouTube is not my only platform. I have Instagram. I have Facebook. I'm on Facebook at My Cryptic Pregnancy Miracles. I'm on Instagram at CP_2. CIMEZ and then the number 2. CP, capital C, small p _ times TIMEZ and then the number 2 on Instagram. So I also want to give a shout out to all of the brave women who come forward with their pregnancies and say, hey, I believe I'm going through this kind of pregnancy. Thank you all for being brave and for coming forward and for sharing your story. And I want to leave you with this last thing. If you all come on to my channel or you pop onto any of my videos and you see any negative comments from people, just ignore it. I just haven't gotten around to deleting it. That's all. Don't let that discourage you because we're going to have a lot of people that's going to come on and say mean things. And we got to just be like, whatever, and keep it moving. Now, I do have people that have genuine questions and have a genuine curiosity about CP, and I'll entertain that. I don't have a problem with that. But when you start coming on saying all this stuff about you should be ashamed of yourself, you're delusional, you're causing other women to blah, 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 that, delete, block. That's over with. So I just wanted to say thank you again. Thanks again. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. Hey guys, do me a favor. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, because once I do that, I can start doing a lot more with my videos. I can do community posts. I can go live on YouTube. I can, there's a lot more fun things that I can do. I can give you more updates. So if you could share these videos and, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button and that notification button, I would really, really appreciate it. I'm going to try to do more videos more frequently, but because I haven't been feeling that well, it's been hard to produce as many videos as I would like to produce. But I'm praying that will change. So I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. So spread the word, share the video. Don't be ashamed of your pregnancy. Now, I know everybody is different, and everybody might not want to share their story, and everybody that might not want people to know about their pregnancy because they just might not be ready to share. I fully respect that. But our pregnancies are no different in terms of significance and importance than a normal 9-month pregnancy. Nothing at all. We still have life inside of us. And God says that children are a blessing from the Lord. So be free to celebrate your pregnancy. And, go into my Instagram page and share a picture of your baby bump. If you want to share a picture of your baby bump and how you're progressing and how your belly is growing and things like that, you can use my platform to do that. It's a safe place. I promise you that. And because anybody on there that says something negative or has something inappropriate to say, they get blocked. So don't even worry about it. If you want to show your face, say, hi, this is me. It's nice to meet you guys. I'm such and such and such and such. Come to my Instagram page. You that's a safe place to land. You can do that. So I love to talk. As you can see, I'm a talker. That's kind of changed though, because I do, but I think I probably like to talk more in person than on the phone. I don't know. I got to think about that. I don't know. But nevertheless, thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to all of my wonderful, wonderful, beautiful subscribers that come on and have so many kind words, and for everybody that's praying for me. And I really appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. I love you guys. Take it easy. Take care of those beautiful gifts from God. Take care of them. Take care of Aunt Latifah's babies. I say Pam because I'll tell y'all about that later. That slipped out. But take care of Aunt Latifah's babies. And I look forward to talking to you all again. And if you want to share your journey and your story, and you want to, if you are a CP mom who has given birth already and you've been through cryptic pregnancy before, and you have some important information or some insightful information that you would like to share, please feel free to share it, because we would love to hear it. Okay? Love you guys, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.